To begin, you'll log into the Credential Publisher. You'll log in using the same login credentials you created when setting up an account in our account system. The two systems are synced, so you won't need a separate login. And after you're logged into the publisher, you'll be directed to the search page. You'll see this Add New Bulk Upload drop-down at the top, and if you click it, you'll see this Bulk CSV Upload subheading. Underneath that, you'll see the credentials link, and clicking that will bring you to the bulk upload tool. And on the tool, you'll see Select Your Organization at the top of the page. And to select your organization, simply click the drop-down and select your organization from the list. The page will then say that you are on your organization's bulk upload tool. Moving down to the introduction, you'll see this is just an overview of the bulk upload tool, as well as steps to upload new credentials and steps to update existing credentials. You'll also see a note about the equity benchmark model below the steps to upload, letting you know that certain properties in the bulk upload are part of the different tiers of the equity benchmark model. Tier 1 properties are represented by a signal bars icon with one filled-in bar. Tier 2 properties are represented by a signals bar icon with two filled-in bars. And Tier 3 properties are represented by a signals bar icon with three filled-in bars. We will be focusing on Tier 1 properties for this demo, so we'll be looking for properties with one filled-in bar when we get to selecting our properties. And to the right up here, you'll see this Print This Page icon, or button rather, which will allow you to download and print a PDF of the steps to bulk upload credentials. And moving down to step 1, which is to complete your organization, you will expand this My Organizations tab, and you'll see your organization's CTID, and your organization's addresses below. And to use these addresses in your bulk upload spreadsheet, just include the address IDs right here as a pipe-separated list of values. Moving on to step 2, this is where we'll select our properties to be included in our template. So you'll notice we have it selected to upload new credentials for the purpose of this demo, but you can also update existing credentials once the data is in the registry. So moving on, you'll see this Required Properties tab, which expands, and you'll see these properties are part of our minimum data policy and have been pre-selected for you over here. So they'll automatically be included in your spreadsheet when you download it. As these properties are part of our minimum data policy and required to publish to the registry, they are also part of our Tier 1 equity benchmark model, so you will see the signals icon with one bar next to each property. And just to run through these required properties, they are external identifier, credential name, credential type, description, subject web page, credential status, and language. Like I mentioned, these are automatically selected. There is no way to unselect these properties, so no need to worry about missing them from your spreadsheet. And just looking at the minimum data, you'll see we have the property name in this column. In this column, we have a description of the property, an example of what data goes into the property. We also have the special data requirements on how to format the data in the spreadsheet for the upload. So you'll notice this property, credential type, as these little blue information bubbles next to each of the data values. And if you click on them, they provide more information on each option as well as how to format the data in your spreadsheet down here. So now that we've run through the minimum data required to publish, let's continue and go over the properties that are part of our equity Tier 1 benchmark data. So we keep scrolling down and expanding the recommended benchmark properties. You'll notice that none of the properties past the minimum required data have been selected. So you have the ability to scroll through and select the equity Tier 1 properties to include in your spreadsheet. So the first equity Tier 1 property is available at codes. For this property, you can use all to indicate that all of your organization's addresses apply, or you can use the list of address IDs under step 1 above. We keep scrolling down. We also have estimated duration description right here. I'm going to check it off, where you can provide a description outlining the estimated duration. It doesn't have to be a numeric value. It can just be a description related to the duration. Also part of the equity tier 1 benchmark, if we keep scrolling down, is NAICS list, ONET code, and if we expand the optional properties tab, we have SIP list and Navy rating right here. You'll notice that if you have multiple values for a property, you'll separate them with the pipe symbol. And moving down the page, we have financial assistance properties as part of the equity tier 1 benchmark model. So if you have any financial assistance properties, you'll just enter an external identifier to distinguish between financial assistance profiles and prevent duplicates if there are multiple. And you will also enter a name and description. And moving down to cost properties, we have external identifier, and I'm just going to continue checking off properties to include them in our spreadsheet, so to speak. So external identifier is required, as well as description and details URL right here. And the details URL is required if any cost properties are entered. And if we keep moving down the page, we also require condition profiles, or encourage, as part of the equity tier 1 benchmark data if any of your credentials have conditions like a requirement, a recommendation, renewal, or co-requisite. The last tab we have here is connection properties, where you can connect to a credential, learning opportunity, or assessment to show a relationship in your data between data that is in the registry and the credentials you are uploading. So if you would like to connect to data in the registry, we would just need the CTID of the target credential, target assessment, or target learning opportunity. And once you have selected all of the properties you wish to include, you'll just come down to step 3 to download your template. So be sure to include sample data and include instructions, so that those will be included in the template for your reference, and click the Download Template Spreadsheet button. And this spreadsheet will download to your desktop as a CSV file. You can convert the CSV to an Excel doc or Google Sheet to easily input your data. So I'm going to go to the template that I have downloaded, and you can see the template in Google Sheets. Where I've opened it, you'll see sample data and instructions have been included in rows 2 and 3, so you can reference them in the spreadsheets, to keep going back to the bulk upload page. And you'll see in row 1 up here that the minimum required data is included, and the other data that is part of the equity tier 1 benchmark recommendations. So once you're done filling out the template, I'm going to navigate over to my spreadsheet. You'll delete column A, as well as rows 2 and 3. And those need to be removed before upload, or you will receive an error. It's also important to note that the file should be saved as a CSV file, as that is the file extension that works with our system. So I have saved this to my desktop, so I'm going to go back to the bulk upload tool. So continuing down the page from where we left off, you'll see step 4 has some helpful tips and tricks as you're inputting your data in your spreadsheet, but we have already inputted our data, so we will just upload our data under step 5. And to upload your data, you'll select Choose File from the step, and you will see that you will have to select the correct CSV file from your desktop, and you can select this Preview button, and you'll notice that the tool will replicate your spreadsheet. You'll see the properties as the column headers and all of the data you have entered. You can use this as an opportunity to do a final quality check before uploading, and when you're done, you can just select this save this data to the publisher button. It will ask you if you're sure you want to upload this data, and you can just click OK. You'll see there is a progress bar, and when your data has been uploaded, you'll get this green success message that says your data has been uploaded. And if you keep scrolling, you'll see the upload results. So the next step is to approve your credentials to be published. And to do this, you'll click this organization summary page link underneath step 6, and this will take you to the summary page, which I have open, where you will approve data to be published. And depending on how much data you have in the publisher, you'll just wait for all of the tabs to load. You'll see this credentials tab. And if you click the tab, you'll see all of the credentials you have entered into the publisher. So to approve the data, you'll just select all and click this Approve All Selected Items button at the bottom. And once everything is approved, the publishing team will get an automatic email notification that you have approved your data, and we will go in and publish it to the registry. And it will be made viewable in our credential finder.